This officer marks the beginning of a twisted 2-year-long investigation. It's June 3rd, 2023, when Andrew Wyeth reports his 12-year-old daughter Lori Paige missing from their home in Tallahassee, Florida. The report was relatively standard for them, but the reality awaiting them would be unlike anything they had ever experienced.
Police Department. Hey, you Mr. Wyeth?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Okay. So, do you remember what she was last wearing?
I left for work yesterday, so I work at night.
So you work at night? Okay.
Yeah,
so who was she hanging out with whenever she ran off?
I don't know. I got off work. She's not here.
So you went to work last night,
So
and she was here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you came home, she was gone?
Yeah.
Okay. So what time was that? When was the last time you actually physically saw her?
Like 11.
11 p.m.? Okay. And then what time did you come home today?
Not too long ago, shit. I went for a walk, so it looked like
Like it's 11:30 right now.
I don't know, probably like 10 something.
So 10 a.m. today?
Yeah.
Okay.
On June 3, 2023, a corrections officer named Andrew Wyeth walked into the Tallahassee Police Department and filed for his 12-year-old daughter. The intake officer asked a simple question: when was the last time you physically saw her? Andrew answered, like 11 p.m. Then he added something that should have stopped the room cold. He didn't know what she was wearing. He didn't know her friends. He had taken her phone away a long time ago. And when asked if she had any medical conditions, he said, I don't know. Her mama know that stuff. A father reporting his honors and he knew almost nothing about her. That is not grief. That is inventory. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to EvidenceAxis. Because we don't just cover the story, we follow the evidence. Here is the visual anchor for this entire case. Imagine a lockbox. Not a small one. A steel evidence locker. Inside it sits every fact Andrew Wyeth tried to bury. The timeline, the vehicle, the cleaning supplies, the locked door of his own house. For 2 years that lockbox stayed sealed in plain sight. The key was always in his pocket. And the only reason the box opened at all is that a controlled fire on a Georgia planed the brush hiding a shallow grave. The lockbox was never lost, it was just waiting for the landscape to tell the truth. The official record says Andrew Wyeth was a father concerned enough to call the police. The body camera says something else and asks about Lori's disappearance, and Andrew stands in his doorway, hands loose, voice flat. He says he went for a walk. He says he came home around 10. He says he doesn't know anything. The officer asked to search the house. Andrew says sure, no urgency, no tears. You watch that footage and you realize something chilling. This man is not searching for his daughter. He is performing the absence of concern.
Are you sure she didn't get on a bus and get picked up by a friend?
Man, if she did, I don't know her friend is. You know what I'm saying?
Does she have a phone?
She got a phone, but she don't use it.
Does she have a phone with her though? Do you know?
I
She
checked
doesn't?
that a long time ago.
So she has no phone. Okay. Is she on any medications?
I told her, I don't know, if she is, her mama know that stuff. Because when I got her mama dropped her off.
Okay. Does she suffer from any, disabilities or anything like that?
Man, I don't know. I'm just raising a child right now at this point.
I hear you.
Now look at the neighborhood canvas. A Ring doorbell camera sits directly across from Andrew's house. The neighbor agrees to the officer gives the window, 11 p.m. to 10 a.m. The neighbor comes back with nothing. No one enters. No one leaves. No 12-year-old girl slipping out into the dark. That should have been the first fracture in the timeline. Because if Lori never left that house, then whatever happened to her happened inside those walls. And there was only one other person there.
No sign of Lori anywhere inside her home, or at the abandoned apartment where she was found the last time she ran away. So officers began canvassing the area and immediately noticed a Ring doorbell camera on a neighbor's front door.
Hey sir, how's it going? My name's Officer Beth. Hey, one of your neighbor's daughters actually ran away, and I see that you have a camera.
Okay.
Do you know if your camera reaches pretty far out into the neighborhood, or is it kind of stops right
I
here?
mean, I can see there to there.
Is there a way that you can look at the camera footage, because it's this gentleman here, and see if a 12-year-old girl left? It'd be anywhere from 11 p.m. to 10 a.m. I know it's a really long time, but
If it caught the move, let me grab my phone.
be a little girl, 5 foot tall.
Yeah, I know. I've seen her.
Okay.
You said it would have been around 11 last night?
11 p.m. to 10 a.m. It's a really long range, I know, but
Let's see.
But the investigation did not turn sharply, it wandered. Detectives chased a rumor about a convicted predator living nearby.
Officers from the Tallahassee Police Department waste no time at all. While this officer gathers more information about Lori, another heads over to her grandmother's house in the hope she's hiding out there.
Hey, is Lori over here?
Boy, don't tell me she's run away again.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding me with this.
Yeah.
Did she leave today?
Don't know. So the last time she was seen was last night from what Andrew was telling dispatch.
They searched an abandoned apartment from a previous runaway episode. They interviewed teachers. They interviewed friends. And every one of those interviews kept pulling them back to the same address.
With zero progress after 16 days, a detective revisits Lori's grandmother, and only then does it become clear that Lori's home life was not a happy one, and her turbulent upbringing has had a profoundly negative effect on her behavior. Lori has been living with Andrew for over a year, ever since her relationship with her mother Miranda, who was living in Nashville, had completely deteriorated. Miranda had become pregnant at 16, while Andrew was 24 at that time, and according to family members, she was more focused on partying than raising her newborn child.
So she ran away like 3 or 4 times while she was up there, right?
Was that in Nashville?
Yeah.
Okay. So Nashville doesn't contribute to a database that we use, so I need to call them directly to get that information. Do you know, about how long was the longest time she was gone while she was in Nashville?
The house with the silent doorbell camera. The house where a 12-year-old girl had once run barefoot into the night because she said her father threatened to hit her.
Friends, they find evidence that Lori's behavior did change dramatically, but only after she started living with Andrew a year earlier, raising several red flags with the police about the relationship she had with her father.
Did she live in Tallahassee?
No. But I know she loved home to school for her friends.
Did you hang out with her much at school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of sat with her sometimes when she was wasn't sad. Okay. And when she was asked her was she okay.
Okay, did she ever tell you why she was sad?
Once, she was sad because she was scared to go home because she had got her parents called. And I was just telling her just go home because she was telling me she was gonna run away, but I never thought it would happen because I'd be saying the same thing.
Did she ever tell you anything about, other than her being scared to go home, did she ever tell you about anything bad going on with her at home?
She would say she'll get abused.
And she say how? No. Did you ever see her with bruises or cuts or scrapes or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where would those normally be at?
Sometimes she'll have it on her elbows and knees.
Then comes the first moral refrain of this case. He was the last one to see her. 6 words. Simple, indisputable, and in a missing child investigation, that phrase is not an accusation.
Stuff that she was telling you about her dad and her family.
She said her dad don't feed her, and her dad used to touch her and stuff. And I told her you need to go tell somebody. You can't just sit there and let it happen because it's gonna keep bottling up, and one day can't take it anymore. You're gonna end up doing something that you don't want to do. Right. So I told her you need to go tell somebody, or else it's just gonna keep happening.
Did she ever tell you why she wouldn't tell? What she thought would happen if she did tell somebody about all that? What did she think?
She told me that her dad was gonna kill her. And bro, the one thing when if you go look on the news and you see the video that Miss Summers was in, mm-hmm. you can see her dad standing on the side, and he was smiling. He wasn't doing anything. He was smiling. He was looking and he was looking around while they was searching for Lori, right? Mm-hmm. He's sitting on the side smiling and looking around. Baby, you're not gonna look for your child? Something's wrong with you. I ain't gonna say that because you might put me in handcuffs, but
no,
I'll scrap with him because while all the other people from our school, from here, are looking for your child and you're smiling.
Andrew.
It is a starting point, unless the person who was last to see her never wants to talk about it. 6 months pass. Andrew moves, not to the next county. He moves to Thomasville, Georgia. He does not tell the Tallahassee Police Department. They find out through other means. Think about what that means. Your 12-year-old daughter is missing, presumed endangered, possibly dead, and you relocate across state lines without leaving a forwarding number with the detective assigned to her case. That is not a mistake, that is a decision.
6 months into the investigation, Andrew had not only moved out of his house, but also moved states. And strangely, he did not choose to tell the police he was now living in Thomasville, Georgia. This deep into the investigation, everything changed, and what started as a missing person case was about to become a homicide, with Andrew Wyeth as a strong contender for the #1 suspect. Lori's mother Miranda had spoken to investigators on several occasions, but like Andrew, she knew nothing that could help police locate her daughter's whereabouts. But they had to be sure she wasn't involved, and she wasn't hiding Lori herself at her home in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. But upon arrival, they find Miranda isn't going to be as cooperative as they might have hoped.
So we were coming up here, I guess, on another matter. She asked if we made contact with you for a buccal swab. I guess you had an appointment with Nashville PD and weren't able to make it for some reason, and we wanted to go ahead and do that now if you're able to.
And I've been asking TPD since the beginning for the files for this case. I'm not sure why y'all feel entitled to my cooperation, but y'all don't have to cooperate. Y'all are running down on people.
What files?
In all these, I want all the case files pertaining to Lori.
Then detectives start pulling records. Andrew's employment file shows something strange. He was supposed to work on certain the disappearance window. He didn't show up. He called out sick, but he never mentioned that to police. When they ask him about it, he says he doesn't recall. A corrections officer who clocks in and out of a prison for a living suddenly cannot remember a single day he missed work.
Did something happen to cause Lori to run away?
In what sense?
Any sense. An argument, a fight, discipline, anything that you haven't told us?
No, I mean, from what I think, it was that argument with Miranda that kind of set it all off. On top of that, I mean, obviously she ran away because I think she had got in trouble again, and that's why she ran away the other time. So,
and don't think any way about this at all. All right, I have to ask these questions. I've asked everybody these questions. Do you know where Lori is now?
no, I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not. And if I did, child,
I know.
But Andrew is about to be backed into a corner from which he's going to struggle to escape, because detectives have already obtained information on Andrew's whereabouts during the time Lori was reported missing. And that information contradicts everything that Andrew has been telling them.
It looks like you may not have been at work certain days during that time. That's why I kind of asked you, is there anything that would have kept you home? Do you remember not going to work or calling in sick? You were supposed to be at your shift and didn't?
no.
You don't remember any of that? Okay. Because it looks like you work all the time, and then there's a couple days you don't go to work. So.
What you mean?
There were a couple days during that time frame you didn't go to work.
Time frame being the last time Miranda showed up
that week before
to Lori
she
being missing.
Yeah.
You coming home and not finding her. Do you remember calling in sick any of those days?
No.
Okay. And the reason we're asking was there something happening at home that would have caused you to think that you couldn't go to work for whatever reason?
No.
Okay. Did that day leading up to Lori going missing, so you went to work that night, came home, she was missing, that day, whole day before, did you leave town at all?
I don't know.
Was there any reason you would go to Jacksonville?
Jacksonville?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Because it looks like you went just before you went to work. So you went to Jacksonville during that day and then came back, then went to work. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, what was that for?
I was dropping a friend off at the airport.
Who's your friend?
Tim?
Who is Tim to you?
He's the friend.
Okay, was he staying with you?
No.
Okay, where was he staying?
He was somewhere in Tallahassee. He just needed to ride to the airport.
Okay, so that was all it was? You took him to the airport?
Yeah.
Andrew had.
So they ask a better question. Did you leave town? He says no, but his name shows up on a passenger manifest for a flight out of Jacksonville, one way to Puerto Rico. This is the ticking clock moment. Ask yourself this. What kind of man books a one-way ticket to leave the country in the same window his daughter supposedly ran away? If she was alive, who was he leaving behind? If she was already dead, then the flight was never about escape. It was about vanishing before the ground started speaking.
How about something that explains why she ain't around anymore?
She ran away. What you mean? Like,
no, she ran away.
Hey, come on. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. That's it. Hey, look, bro. She ran away. That's it. That's it. You feel me? Y'all want to keep coming back? Cool.
When did she run away?
That was a year ago. I don't know. Sometime in June.
You didn't just drive to Jacksonville and come back and she was still at the house.
Got no more words for y'all.
Why'd you book that flight to Puerto Rico?
Why'd you want to go to Puerto Rico? Is this an accident, dude?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You just trying to make something up right now.
Why? Hell, you didn't even call out sick that day. You just went. You were gonna leave work, leave Lori, leave everybody.
You didn't have nobody set.
You didn't tell nobody. You didn't do nothing. You just bought a ticket and drove to Jacksonville.
Because the ground always speaks, the only question is whether anyone is still listening when it does. Now examine the search of his new home in Thomasville. Inside, detectives find destroyed cell phones, dismantled, factory reset, a personal journal with entries about uncontrollable anger, words like, I can't shake it, and then the vehicle. Forensics pulls blood splatter from the inside roof lining of Andrew's car. Not smears, not fingerprints, blood splatter. That detail matters. Blood spatter is physical motion recorded in fluid. It tells you something happened inside that car, something violent, something sudden.
You can keep that and you can get a copy of all the documents up there at the courthouse.
Inside Andrew's home, several cell phones had all been destroyed, dismantled, or given a factory reset. Officers discovered disturbing entries in his own personal journal, where Andrew wrote about his uncontrollable anger and the fact that he'd made a lot of mistakes, and how he felt his anger comes and anger goes. I can't shake it. Detectives were starting to paint a different picture of Andrew than the one he presented, and their suspicions only heightened when forensics uncovered several splatters of blood on the inside of the roof of Andrew's vehicle. They also discovered that Andrew might have lied about his trip to the airport on the day Lori was reported missing. He claimed he'd given his friend Tim a ride to the airport, but his friend's name didn't appear on any passenger list. However, Andrew's name did appear on a passenger list that day, with a one-way ticket booked to Puerto Rico.
Do you have any plans on going anywhere?
I'm probably gonna move back to Tallahassee.
And the person who owned that car never once mentioned an injury, an accident, or a nosebleed. Then the cell phone data lands. Andrew's device pinged at a place called Melrose Plantation, a historic estate, over 3,000 acres of thick Georgia vegetation. He visited that location 2 days before he reported Lori missing. 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 months. The same man who told police he had no idea where his daughter went had already driven to a remote forested property across state lines. And while he was there, he was buying cleaning supplies at dollar stores back in Tallahassee. There is the second refrain. He was the last one to see her. Only now it carries more weight, because the last one to see her also knew exactly where the search should end. And he didn't tell anyone. Not the police, not her grandmother, not her mother. He waited 2 years for nature to do what he could not reveal the location he had already chosen. On April 5, 2025, the owners of Melrose Plantation began a controlled burn to clear undergrowth. A search party followed the fire line. A cane unit hit on something in the dirt. Dental records confirmed what everyone already suspected. The remains belonged to Lori Paige, a 12-year-old girl who never made it out of her father's house, who never left through that front door, who ended up in a shallow grave 2 hours from home, buried under brush her father knew would grow back.
After analyzing Andrew's cell phone, they tracked one of his locations to Merrily Plantation in Thomas County, a historic 3,165-acre estate right on the border of Georgia and Florida. But the thick vegetation meant the area was almost inaccessible, and the area they could access showed no signs of Lori or any of her belongings. But a series of coincidences left too many unanswered questions. Why did Andrew visit the area just 2 days before he reported Lori missing? And why had he visited several dollar stores in Tallahassee and purchased cleaning equipment around the same time? Almost 1 year would pass with the investigation stalling. But then, on April 5th, 2025, there was a major breakthrough in the case, and these questions were finally answered. The owners of the Merrily Plantation had started a controlled fire to reduce the thick undergrowth and vegetation, and this was when a search party was sent to search the area once again. It was during the search that a canine unit uncovered the evidence police had been looking for, and what they found was truly heartbreaking. Buried in the rural terrain were the remains of a young girl. A forensic odontologist is brought in, and using dental records confirms the remains are those of Lori Paige. As the amount of evidence against Andrew continued to
And then comes the arrest. Andrew Wyeth stands in a parking lot with his hands behind his back. The detective asks if he has any weapons. He says no. They pat him down anyway. You see the body cam footage and you wait for the moment. The collapse, the confession, the tears. It never comes. Instead, in the interrogation room, he sits there smiling, giggling. The detective tells him they found her. Andrew says, "So, she's dead." Then he shrugs and says, "The mystery is over." Those are his words, not speculation, not interpretation. His own voice on official recording. The mystery is over. As if his daughter's murder was a puzzle he had grown tired of hiding.
It proved frustratingly difficult.
Do you have any idea why you're here? Andrew, we can play games if you want to, but I'm tired of playing games. And I'm not going to pretend you're not a smart man. I know you're a smart man, so you understand the difference between murder, manslaughter, and everything in between, right? Negligent manslaughter, any of those things. You understand that? You've seen people come in and out of that prison, day in, day out, different types of charges. How do the ones look that are charged with murder versus the ones that are charged with lesser offenses? Do they look different? Do they act different? Which one do you want to be? Your chances right now, we can amend charges.
Do you even care? An honest question, man.
You're sitting there giggling in handcuffs while you're being charged with your daughter's murder.
I'm being charged with murder?
Yeah. That wasn't clear when I said that a minute ago?
You didn't say nothing. You just asked me why I was here. That's why.
That's why you're here.
So you ain't found my daughter?
That's all you're concerned about? Whether or not we found her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we found her. She's right where you left her.
You're sitting here throwing your hands up like you found her, so what? Well, you're being charged with murder, and we're saying we found her, so I think you're smart enough to put two and two together. Listen, man.
Keep it up, man. This is your life, not mine. I can give a shit. When this is over, that's it. That's the only opportunity you're going to get. I'm going to go about my business. I'm going to work the next case. Okay?
Listen, man. The mystery's over. All right.
Then the autopsy delivers the final, unspeakable blow. Lori was pregnant when she was murdered. Investigators believe Andrew was the father. They believe he had been abusing her for months. He had tried to obtain medication for an STD but refused to be examined. Police concluded the motive was not anger. It was erasure. Andrew Wyeth killed his daughter to silence the biological evidence of his own crime. That is not a father who snapped. That is a man who calculated.
Like that is what's pissing me off.
Lori's dead. You're charged with her murder.
So my daughter's dead?
She's dead. We found her remains.
Where?
You tell us. Because you wouldn't be here charged with murder for your daughter's death if we didn't have evidence to support that you did it. We wouldn't be doing it off speculation. We wouldn't be doing it off somebody thinks you did it. You've got evidence to support that you did it.
You got evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of it.
That I killed my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. And that is why you're here right now.
So why we talking?
Because what we want to know is, how did it happen? That's what we're giving you the opportunity to tell us. Did you just get mad at her one day and decide this is the day? Was it an accident? Did something happen and you got scared after the fact?
Did you plan it? Every parent up there has been frustrated with their kids. Every parent up there has thought about, oh my God, I wish this was just stopped. They're screaming, they're yelling, I can't control them. People understand that. People understand what it brings them to. Getting mad, punching walls, doing whatever, that kind of stuff. Some people do lose their temper, they understand that. But you know what they don't understand and what they don't like? Is someone sitting in your position with a smile on his face, not giving a damn one way or another. That's what they're going to see. Change their mind. Don't let them see that. Let them see who you are.
I need a lawyer, bro.
Now the third and final refrain. He was the last one to see her. but he was also the first one to treat her as disposable. From the moment he filed that missing person report, through a fake concern, through the fake alibi, through the fake flight, through the fake silence, Andrew Wyeth acted like a man who had already finished his work. All he needed was for everyone else to stop looking, and for 2 years, they almost did. Then the system delivered its own twisted epilogue. In June 2025, Andrew Wyeth was found dead in his cell at the Leon County Detention Facility. Reports indicate natural causes. He never faced a jury. He never heard a judge read a guilty verdict. He never had to sit in a courtroom and watch his daughter's teachers describe how she flinched when adults raised their voices. For some, his death looked like justice. For others, it looked like the final escape of a man who had already escaped accountability once before.
Okay.
Clearly, Andrew doesn't show a single bit of remorse, but nothing could have prepared these detectives for the horrifying discoveries they would make after this interview. When an autopsy was performed on Lori's body, it was discovered that she was pregnant when she was murdered, and investigators suspected Andrew was the father and he'd been abusing her for months, if not longer. They also suspected he'd given Lori an STD. As reports say, he tried to buy medication from his doctor, but after he refused to be examined, he left empty-handed. Police concluded that Andrew chose to murder his own daughter to cover up his own twisted, evil actions, and to avoid any uncomfortable questions about how Lori became pregnant in the first place. Detectives were confident they could secure a conviction, and Andrew was sent to Leon County Detention Facility, where he'd await trial by sharing the same cells as the very criminals he'd been supervising only months earlier. But he'd never make it to trial, as in June 2025, a prison officer was patrolling the cells when he found Andrew dead in his cell, with reports later indicating he died from natural causes, although many say this was a fit.
But the evidence does not die with him. The lockbox is open. Now the body camera footage is public. The phone records are public. The autopsy report is public. The flight manifest is public. And the single most damning document in this entire case is available for you to read with your own eyes, the Tallahassee Police Department's probable cause affidavit. It lays out every lie in sequence. Every missed workday, every destroyed phone, every pinched tower, every stain in the vehicle. And one detail that the body cameras only hinted at. Andrew Wyeth reported his daughter missing. But according to the affidavit, the last person to see Lori alive was the same man who filed the report. The same man who moved away, the same man who booked a one-way ticket to an island, the same man who smiled in handcuffs. So here is your call to research. Find the probable cause affidavit in the Lori Paige case. Read it from start to finish. Then answer one direct question in the comments. At what exact point did the state of Florida have enough evidence to arrest Andrew Wyeth, and why did it take almost 2 years to do it? Because that is not just a question about one case. It is a question about every missing child whose last known location was a locked house with a silent doorbell camera, and a father who said he didn't know anything. If this investigation made you see the gaps between what was officially said and what actually happened, then like this video, share it with someone who needs to understand how evidence works, and subscribe to EvidenceAxis. Turn on notifications because the next file is already open, and the documents are already talking.